What's good, everybody? It's your boy, O'Shea Dude Jackson, back at it again with another episode of the Celebrity Junk. I try to leave Boyce Watkins alone, man. I don't have a problem with Boyce, but Boyce keeps getting the views on my channel, man, and this is the issue of the day. Okay, Boyce Watkins, he's been really simping a lot on his Instagram. And brother Boyce, family, get back to economics, man. Just leave it alone. Just leave it alone. Step away from social media, dog. Because you should be talking about Bitcoin and index funds and mutual funds and all this. But you're talking about things that you don't know about. And of course, I'm going to get these views and money off of you because you keep giving me all the juice. Brother Keith sends me this email. Day music! Hey, O'Shea, I know you said you're done with Dr. Boyce. I know this, but you're going to want to check this out, bro. Read the post in the comments. Lately, he has been co-signing Kevin Samuels' haters tough, bro. So, thank you, Brother Keith. Give me a round of applause. So, I go and look at this, and I mean, there's too many comments for me to read them, and I don't have the time, okay? But there's a brother that Dr. Boyce Watkins deals with by the name of Roosevelt Mitchell III. And Boyce shares his particular post on this screen. Read it. Day music!
Kevin Samuels got people believing that a high-value man is a man who makes six figures. I don't care how much a man makes. I think he must stop the show. Brother, make sure you get that Twitter spell check. If he's not taking care of his kids, he's not shit. Too many rich deadbeats.
The real Boyce Watkins says, Day music!
Out the disability scholar is right. Let's stop celebrating dysfunction.
I mean, stop the show. You're the guy who is trying to tell black men that they should marry women who have kids out of wedlock by men who they're not married to, and then take care of those kids with the money that they have. So whose dysfunction is it, Boyce? Because if I want to talk about this, okay? I want to talk about this. If a high value man is not taking care of his kids, is dysfunction. But if a woman gets pregnant by a man who ain't taking care of his kids, and that's partly her fault, to take care of the kids that the high value man makes, it's totally okay. Does that make any sense? And the reality of it is I'm not going to go through the comments because there were some comments maybe that Boyce Watkins was interacting and stuff like that. These guys are jealous. Okay? And if you look at the factual thing, shout out to Brother Poppy Carlo, the high value status, according to Kevin Samuels, is this. Factually incorrect. 6 points of high value men. 1, make $100,000 a year. 2, it must be made for 5 years. 3, group acceptance by other high value men. 4, network of high value men access. 5, visibility, what you do is easily verified. Utility, usefulness to a group. Okay? Kevin Samuels also says athletes and entertainers do not count as high value males. Please stop misrepresenting his points. The real Boyce Watkins has a PhD. I expect you to do the homework. Here's a link to a specific video description. But you have the disability scholar who obviously has a disability in spelling. How are you going to be a scholar if you can't even put the word man? Like, some of y'all need to get y'all struggle stuff together, okay? See, the reality of it is that let's shift the goalpost. And the thing is, if a man has kids, which kids are we talking about? Mr. Disabled Scholar? Because if a man takes care of kids that ain't his, then it's okay. What about for the women? Since you want to, throw ad hominem, since you want to throw different arguments and move the goalposts because you want to put your points out there that nobody really cares about. The only reason why I'm talking about you today, Mr. Mitchell, is because Boyce Watkins put you to be honest, no one knows who you are. But since you are affiliated with him, let's refurbish this, okay? Or let's repackage it. What if I were to say Kevin Samuels, or let's say Boyce Watkins, got people believing that a high value man is a man who takes care of other folks' kids? Would that be okay? Yes, you would agree with that, because it's all about a man who don't take care of his kids. What about the women who get pregnant by these guys who don't take care of their kids? Because it takes two, right? So if a woman gets pregnant by a man who doesn't want to take care of her kids, is she not complicit? Or is it solely the man's fault? Because a lot of women out here, and I just did a video on this, will get pregnant by a man without being in a relationship with him. Don't care that he's not going to be there because they want the kids to themselves. And then when they need something and the guy doesn't want to participate, then it's a problem. Why is the misrepresentation so strong here? You know, because PhDs and guys who are intelligent, you should stick to the argument. But you want to shift the goalposts and change it up to fit a narrative that's actually contradictory to the entire message. Because you two gentlemen don't have a problem of black men taking care of women who have had babies by deadbeats. You only want to focus on the deadbeats, not the people who had the babies by the deadbeats. When in actuality, there should be equality of blame on both sides. If a woman gets pregnant, and some of them have done this more than once, because there are many women in our community that are pregnant, that have had children by more than one man. Most single mothers have more than one child, and pregnant by two or more men. And whose fault is that? The mistake has been repeated. And then, you know, Kevin Samuels, basically what's going on here is, even in some of the comments, is that Boyce Watkins is even saying that, you know, that the hatred of black women is being pushed. You know, just trying to make this thing. And Boyce is really wanting to say that if you don't want to take care of single mothers, if you don't want to take care of people who are not your responsibility, then that is a form of hatred towards black women. I think that's not true, because sisters don't want. Let's be fair to black women right now, okay? Let's say you're a black woman and you're a childless woman. Is it fair for her to come into a situation dealing with a man that has kids, possibly a baby mama that's angry, crazy? Not saying that that's true, but let's say that's the problem, right? He has other things going on in his life that would take away from time from her as a woman. Now, this is a woman who's done everything that she's supposed to do in life. She's went to college, and there's many African American women like that. What do we tell African American women? We tell them, don't settle for less, right? We tell them that black girls rocks, right? Which is true. I'm a proponent of black women being successful. That helps the black community. You will not get no argument from me there. I'm pro-black. But you tell them not to settle for less. We all know that. Black women are not supposed to settle for less. He ain't making enough money. He got this. Don't you settle for less. But then if you tell black men don't settle for less, now you hate those same sisters. But wait a minute. How are you going to tell them something different than you tell us? And see, these one-sided arguments is why Boyce Watkins don't get black male support. This other guy who's a simp, okay, don't get the support. And this is why a lot of these guys and these pro-black movements and things like that, you know, this is why our communities are struggling. Because why? There is no equality in the message. You're very duplicitous, and you want to shift goalposts and arguments that shouldn't even be there. All to push a narrative that don't even exist. And it's foolish. Coming from guys that are in their 40s, 50s. Like, come on now. You guys don't have anything better to do? Like, seriously. Some of you guys are someone's father, and this is what y'all do on I mean, let's be honest here. Let's make up stuff that don't exist because we feel some type of way because this guy is getting some notoriety that we're not getting because he has more talent than we do. It's ridiculous. So guys, what do you think? It's your boy, O'Shea Duke Jackson, back at it again with another episode of The Celebrity Junk. I really appreciate you for all that you do. Subscribe, hit the bell, check out the first comment in the top, and as you know, the buffoonery remains at an all-time high.